Higher 50% gang. Whoa! This is just a little note to say that this episode was originally released pretty much 2 years ago on the 5th of October 2020. Only released on audio platforms then, so this is it now released for the very first time on YouTube. I very much hope you enjoy us talking about the Satan Pit and the Impossible Planet. Enjoy!
50% podcast.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Connor, my man,
Hey!
my boy.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Let's
We're
get ready
in
to
for
rumble.
A cracking episode today, aren't we? A quality lineup of apps we're talking about.
Yeah, good old two-parter. Back at it again with the two-parters.
A pretty odd two-parter. Pretty ood two-parter.
Ah!
You know what I'm saying?
Ah!
Fuck.
This
Stop
man
me.
right here.
I'm here all night, guys. I'm here all night. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm surviving. It's a bank holiday here in Australia, in Perth, and so we're recording this on a Monday, and we've been off all day, and it's sent both of us. We don't know what year it is anymore, and once again, we left the questions till last minute, but we're going to do something cool and different today because Aiden came up with a pretty lit idea to. It took me a while to understand what he meant, but we're going to be doing 2 truths, 1 lie, and we're going to be doing 3 lots of that. So all in all, we had to come up with 9 questions today, and I came up with my ones about 30 minutes ago. I don't know about you, but...
I literally was finishing... When you were like, oh, I'm going to be like 15 minutes late, I was like, thank fuck, I can write my questions. I finished them just before you came on.
Right.
So...
Right, yeah, it took me a while as well, but
our weekly challenge for each other is sometimes a bit of a chore, but it's fun. But it's
it's always like I always forget, or we always are struggling to figure out what to talk about. Like there's no like last week's one was about broadcast and it was an episode about TV, so it made sense. I couldn't think of anything that would tie into like a cool like question for this kind of episode, but still, either way. Are we jumping into that now?
We can jump into that. Do you want to jump into that?
Sure, let's do it.
Cool.
I'm gonna go off video call, Aiden, and get ready to meet your match.
No worries. So yeah, just to fill anyone in that doesn't know anything about our show and what this little game is we're playing, we have our weekly challenge where me and Connor are testing ourselves to find out who is the biggest Whovian. We have a new category every week, and like Connor just mentioned, this week we're not going for a category, we're going for like a different style of game where Connor's going to list 2 truths and 1 lie to me, and I have to guess which one is the lie, related to Doctor Who of course, and we're going to do that a few times each, and whoever gets the most of them right wins this week's round and gets a point. I think mine are a bit easy, so you've got that going for you, Connor.
Right. So, just to confirm, so I'll read out the 3, you're out the 3, and then you'll say the one that you think is fake.
Yeah. So you read out 3, 2 truths and 1 lie. Okay. And then, I try and figure out which one is the lie.
Alright, okay, so this is my first batch of 3 questions.
Go on.
There is 1 lie, and the rest are true. Okay,
Cool.
So the first one I've got, for the first lot, number 1, is the 11th Doctor's bow tie changes whether he's in the past or the future. Second one I've got is Doctor Who DVD sales shot up most during Series 2 and Series 3. And number 3 is a Harry Potter book is seen in the background of a Doctor Who episode. If you want me to read them again, just let me know.
Okay, I know the tie one's true. It goes for his shirt. I think it's red in the past, blue in the future, from memory.
Okay.
But that's definitely unless you're fucking with but the tie changes with the shirt. They never do like a red shirt with a blue tie. Yeah, so that must be true. And then the second one was Doctor Who DVD
Doctor
sales.
Who DVD sales shot up the most during Series 2 and 3. And the last one was a Harry Potter book is seen in the background of a Doctor Who episode.
That's tricky. I could see DVD sales going up the most in 2 and 3, but possibly 3 and 4. I think season 4 was like peak, maybe like 4 to 5 or something. But I I'm going to go with the 2 to 3, and that the Harry Potter book in the background is The Lie.
Oh, sorry, Aiden.
Oh, damn.
There is a Harry Potter book in the background of Doctor Who episode. Now, I'm hoping this is true because I'd never heard anything about this. I did see it on the internet, but apparently there's a Harry Potter book in the background of End of the World. It's in, like, the museum area when they're, like, showing out artifacts of Earth, which is interesting. Apparently it's in there. I don't know if that's true, but there was a picture with it, so there you go. Sorry, Aiden. That was a lie. I randomly came up with that with the Doctor Who DVD sales went up most in Series 2 and 3. That might even be true. Who knows? I just randomly thought of that, but I could be right there.
Well, I tried to make my lies ones that were definitely lies and weren't possibly truths. But... Well,
oh, fuck you. I know for a fact that... No, that's why I put 2 and 3 in there, because, you know... I very much doubt that's true, but anyway, go on, you do yours.
Okay, here we go. My lot of 3. Okay. A side actor in Kill the Moon has appeared in the show 3 times. Moffat claimed that working on both Sherlock and Who was some of the most stressful years in his life and believes that it shows in his writing of Series 7. William Hartnell once broke the fourth wall, delivering a speech in character but directly to camera.
Okay, I know the middle one. The middle one's true with Sherlock. Oh god, the Kill the Moon one sounds like... The Kill the Moon one sounds like it could be... Ah, shit, I can't think. Okay, I'm gonna go with... Oh, shit. Alright, oh no!
5,
Alright,
4,
oh god.
3, 2, 1. What's it gonna be?
Okay, I'm gonna say the William Hartnell one's a lie, because I think I heard before that there was an actor that's been in it 3 times.
Well, Connor, I'm afraid that you are wrong. So,
No!
the William Hartnell one is true. In the... I don't think it was like a Christmas special, but I think an episode... I think it was in the Daleks Master Plan or something. Aired like just before Christmas or something. And they just recorded William Hartnell as the Doctor saying like Merry Christmas to camera to put at the end of the episode. And then in Kill the Moon, there was a side actor that has been in the show 3 times. Stephen Moffat has never criticised his writing of Series 7. And I've actually never seen him criticise, other than maybe in these recent tweet-alongs and that new magazine that him and Russell did together. He's never been very critical of his writing in particular. He's never really opened up on the behind-the-scenes stuff in the same way as Russell has. So that one was actually...
So that was the lie. The one I said instantly.
Yeah.
I love that.
The lie.
The one I said instantly was the lie.
We both failed miserably in round 1. Time for round 2, Connor. Hit me with it.
Alright, round 2, the next 3 questions. Alright, number 1. Bow tie sales went up 94% after Matt Smith's first episode. The BBC thought Doctor Who wouldn't last more than 4 episodes when it first came out. And David Tennant's tie changes whether he is in the past or the future.
I think it's... The lie is David Tennant's tie changes.
Ah, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that was too obvious. I knew I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I got you.
Bullshit. Fuck.
Alright, my second batch of questions for you. Here we go. Only 2 doctors were actually present for the filming of the 3 Doctors. The original opening for Rose began with zooming into the earth and out of Rose's eye, looking at the fashion dummies on Oxford Circus. The events of the filming of An Unearthly Child, the first episode ever of the show, in An Adventure in Space and Time, were slightly altered for dramatic effect, with the iconic sprinkler moment not occurring till much later in production of the show. What's it gonna be, Connor?
Alright, one of those is a bloody fat lie.
Which one?
The Rose one sticks out for me, but I think that's too obvious. But that doesn't sound... That does sound... Then, like, 2 doctors were only on set for the 5 doctors, you said.
For the 3 Doctors.
Only 2 were there for the 3 Doctors. Okay. Okay, and the final one was the scene was adapted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why there'd only be 2 on the 3 Doctors. Because no, was Hartnell dead by then?
He wasn't dead.
Nah, I don't think he was. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go with the first one, the Doctors.
You think that one's a lie?
It's the lie, yeah.
That one is actually true.
Fuck.
William Hartnell
What was the lie then?
Hartnell was too sick to film the 2 Doctors. Sorry, the 3 Doctors. So he, a few months prior to the episode, recorded just a few scenes that they could insert and that Pertwee and Charlton watch on a monitor in the TARDIS, and they communicate through that. But he wasn't actually present for the main principal shooting. And then the Unearthly Child one is true. The Adventure in Space and Time took events that happened sort of in the first season or 2 of the show and kind of crammed it all in mostly to all happen in the first in the filming of the first episodes. So the lie was the Rose one, which you said stood out to you. And yeah,
it did. But you've worded it really well. You've worded it as if it's ripped off a website. So so fuck you. All right. Last 3 questions. Okay.
Yeah,
Timeless Child was the lowest viewed Doctor Who episode since the reboot. The TARDIS was originally meant to change form in every episode. And finally, an episode of Doctor Who was cut off for 90 seconds due to a hijacking on the PBS network in the USA.
I want to say the second one's a lie.
The TARDIS was originally meant to change form in every episode.
Damn.
The lie is Timeless Child was the lowest viewed Doctor Who episode since the reboot.
Oh, what was Google, the lowest one then?
Timeless Children was apparently the lowest.
That's the same episode. I just thought you said it wrong.
Timeless Children and Timeless Child. Different.
What's Timeless Child?
Oh. True. They're the same. Whoops. Sorry, I totally forgotten the fucking final's name. Still, either way, you picked the other one, so... Still counts.
Yeah.
Sorry, isn't the final called Timeless Child and Timeless Children?
No, it's Ascension of the Cybermen and the Timeless Children.
Oh, that was it. Sorry, I meant Timeless Children.
Wait,
not Timeless Child.
So Timeless Children was.
Sorry, the lowest rated episode was what did you say it was called? The Something of the Cybermen, the last one.
Ascension of the Cybermen is part 1, and then Timeless Children is part 2.
Oh, okay. Shit. Sorry, I meant it the other way around when I wrote the question. So technically, I thought Timeless Children was the second last one.
I'm so confused.
Alright, fair enough. I'm sorry, I fucked that up. I thought the Timeless Children was the second last episode.
No, you silly boy.
My bad. Alright.
Wait.
I'll tell you what, if I get the next one right, we'll have to give you a 0.5 because that was kind of hard for you because I fucked that up myself.
The next batch, is...
I apologise, everyone.
Fucking Connor.
Sorry.
Here we go. The Doctor's regeneration is based on a bad acid trip. There was a 3rd spin-off show planned in the RTD era. David Tennant and Billie Piper were spotted in what looked like a public date in late 2006. However, neither have commented on the matter since.
Really?
What's it gonna be?
Can you say the second one again, please?
Second one was there was a 3rd spin-off show planned in the RTD era.
I'm gonna say the lie was the last one because David Tennant had a girlfriend when he was filming Series 2. What?
You are correct.
Ah, Zah.
The acid trip one was funny as though.
That kind of just sounds like something that would happen back in those days. So.
Yeah.
Is that true then? Wow.
Yeah, that's true. The 3rd spin-off show was supposed to be Rose Tyler, Earth Defense, But apparently Billy didn't want to come back for it, and Russell was kind of like, oh, I feel like it undermines her departure in Doomsday. However, he then brought her back twice, and then Moffat brought her back.
Fucking true, to be fair. What are we going to do about that? Because I feel like I kind of messed up that last question.
So...
That's so annoying. If I would have just got it right, I would have gotten the full point.
Hold on, let's fucking... This is wild and confusing. Let's go to the title sequence, and when we get back, we'll have the answer, and we will solve this situation, okay?
It's what you come to know and love about the show, folks. Alright, no worries.
It just doesn't work, is what the show is. And this segment, oh my god, I can't wait for it to be over. Okay, let's go into the intro, my friend.
50% podcast.
Okay. That was some of the most painfulness of my entire life trying to figure that out. Holy fuck. What a smooth start to the episode.
On air?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
If
I would have just fucking done the question right. Oh well.
Facts. Alright, so
Aiden is now winning because I fucked the question up and it messed it up for him.
we decided I would get a half mark, which puts me on 1.5 and Connor on 1, which means this week, round of applause everybody, it's me! So our grand total is me on 4 at the moment and Connor on 3. We've got 3 more of these games to go. And then we'll find out who the biggest Whovian is.
Up.
What an experience this has been.
Yeah. Shut up.
You can't wait for what we have stored in season 3, folks.
I can't believe I fucked up the question. What am I like? I can't believe it. I swear to God, I thought episode 9 was called Timeless Child and 10 was Timeless Children. Oh well, it's in the past now. Can't get over it. It makes it more exciting because if next week I win, it means that
it's tight.
We're neck and neck, baby.
So,
tight.
Talking of two-parters, I'm like a great podcast, so let's look at that segue. Talking of two-parters, this week we are reviewing the iconic 10th Doctor stories. Story, but it's 2 episodes. The Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit. The Impossible Planet is the 8th episode of the 2nd series of the British science fiction television series Doctor Who, which was first broadcast. Sorry, I lost my words completely there. On BBC One on the 3rd of June 2006. It is the first part of a 2-part story. The second part, The Satan Pit, was broadcast on the 10th of June. The episode is set on Krop Tor. I thought that didn't have a name. I thought the planet didn't have a name. What the fuck? A planet orbiting a black hole. In the episode, a human expedition group drilling on the planet is terrorized by a creature calling itself the Beast. Gabriel Wolf there's an actor playing the Beast, I guess.
He screams.
Possesses the Ood slaves in the human's base. Connor was just balancing something on his face. What an episode!
Each week, folks.
What a story, Connor. Give us your thoughts.
I love it.
Woo! That's it.
I love it.
See you next week, guys. Roll credits.
Wrap it up, baby. I do. I really enjoyed watching this. I've always really liked it. It's my favourite. No, my second favourite based on the Siege story. My first is obviously Wars of Mars. I love the idea of the scariness of the episode, the Ood. I've always loved the crew. I've always found them one of the better crews, if not one of the best crews we've had in Doctor Who. They're all like really good actors. They're all really good like characters as well. You like really relate to them. You really feel for them. Every single time one of them passes away, you actually feel something. Apart from like, there's like 2 nameless security guards who have like no lines. And they just die, and they're literally there to just show what the Ood can do when they get possessed. There's like, literally, they got like no lines. They just stand there in the back with guns, and they don't fire them until it's too late, and then they just get killed, and it just shows how the Ood can kill you. But I think this is one of the rare times where there's a 2-parter, and I actually enjoyed the second part more than the first part, which is very rare. It doesn't happen a lot. But that's not to say the first part is bad. It's slower, but it's not boring or just like unenjoyable. It's really good. It's very fast paced. I love the Ood. I do really appreciate how there's a lot of the Ood costumes, and they're all practical. There's never really any like CGI shots used for them. They're all like practical shots. I thought the set was really good. It wasn't lazy, considering last week's one was pretty lazy.
Yeah, that was great.
Really enjoyed the sets. The score is brilliant. It was a lot darker. Even stuff like it just intrigues you instantly, where like you see the writing on the wall and it's that old that even the TARDIS can't translate it. What I like the episode is just like it feels so claustrophobic.
Yeah,
it's like a really claustrophobic vibe. There's scenes where characters are stuck in certain places, like Zach's obviously stuck in the control room, and then there's like the Doctor and Ida are stuck at the bottom of the pit, and there's scenes where like they're in the air vent. The air vent scene is one of my favorite Doctor Who scenes, where they're in the vents. It's honestly got one of my favorites. I think it's insanely well done. It was really good for its time, and it would not have been easy to film. And I think that's sick, and it's so intense. And the idea of like all the doors closing and then like the air's going offline, brilliant. And I love the ending. I love how they all go off. The Doctor goes down. The massive speech with the actual devil at the end. It's always been one of my favorite episodes, and I really did enjoy it this time. What about you,
Man,
Greenie Pro?
Similar.
I never called you that before on the show, but
I haven't watched this episode in a while, and then I threw it on. I watched part one. I remembered loving it as a kid, and then I watched part one like a week ago, and I was kind of like, okay, that was pretty good, but maybe not quite as good as I remember it being. And then yesterday, I just managed to sneak in part two, and fuck me. This is some top tier Doctor Who. Like, fuck. It is intense, it's funny and charming. And the thing that stood out to me the most was how well paced it was and how uniquely paced it was. Like,
yes,
all of the crazy based on the siege stuff sort of happens in the first act of the second part. And it's great and it's awesome. And they choose the scenes really well and they edit the scenes together really well. So you have like, the first half is kind of like Rose's side to the story, right? And her like leading the group, like, all the pack on there. And they just, every now and then, when the Rose stuff is maybe settled down a little bit, just cut to the Doctor for like a minute or so. Because it was like the writers knew that the stuff that's happening with Rose is far more intense than what's happening with the Doctor right now. So they really like, they didn't do like an annoying thing where there'll be like crazy action and then, now cut to David just chatting as he goes down. They really strategically placed those scenes, I thought. And then the second half of the episode being like just the Doctor chatting shit, and then the stakes of the episode being more emotional states rather than like physical states of like the end of the world kind of thing. Like obviously they were going to get sucked into a black hole, but the big emotional dilemma was the Doctor having to pick between Rose and the Beast escaping. And I just thought that was so well executed, so well performed by David. Billy blew me away this episode. I think it's the best she's been in season 2 so far. I think it's the best Rose has been written.
They split them up again.
Huh?
They split them up again.
Yeah, which
they like
I think
split them up again like they did last week. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it?
I think Rose was the best written she's been since season 1 in this episode. I think, you were totally right. Production design was awesome. Had this really cool, like, old deep space vibe to it, with the doors being like, door 47, opening.
I do like that, yeah.
That stuff's cool.
Closed door free.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Ood cosmetics are so amazing. They look great. One thing that I thought was fucking weird was just how, for some reason, their translator device can, I guess, just double as like an electric shock thing. I don't know how that works.
I guess so.
I guess that's just
I've always questioned that, to be honest.
Just accept
it,
Connor.
It flies out perfectly and sticks on their heads, and then it flies back into their arm somehow, is what it is. Just gotta let it slide.
The Ood with the red eyes are fucking spooky. The scene where the Doctor and stuff are talking to the devil Satan thing through the Ood, and the Ood are all just stood there with their red eyes in the dimly lit corridors and stuff.
Perfect.
And there's like organ music playing, and it was fucking good. Oh!
Yeah, and I love that scene, and the devil like hits all of them with like a personal their biggest fear. Or
Yeah.
like something that really affected them. It's like the liar, they even mentioned the virgin, which is pretty crazy. It's like the liar, the virgin. It's like so scared of command. It's like, did your wife ever forgive you? Running from your dad, and then they say to Rose that she's gonna die, and it's referring to the final, which is crazy.
Our first little bit of foreshadowing for Rose's death. Also, another Torchwood reference.
Torchwood gets mentioned too.
Yeah,
Torchwood gets mentioned. Yep.
So that was cool.
Yep, I did notice that.
This one felt the
Very
most far-fetched of a Torchwood reference to me.
As part of the Torchwood Institute, I was like, there you go, there it is, done.
Felt like something that if Torchwood was this fucking big, that they were sending people off into deep space, then surely it would come up in different episodes of the show, not just in season 2 when Torchwood happens to be the word that we're all hearing.
I love it. It's like Russell's probably just like, just add it in somewhere. Like, I'm sure I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it's like the Torchwood Institute. I was like, there it is. Good to see you.
The score was amazing. You were totally right. The side actors were awesome.
Brilliant.
Except
dun 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 dun. Oh, it's so good. So good.
The two side actors that played just two like soldiers that just died so easily, and they didn't even put any effort into developing them. It's so dumb.
I love that. They've got. I think one of them has like a line. It's like, okay, sir. I think that's it. And it's like, it makes me laugh. They're literally just there to die. Killed.
I loved how fucking
to
one
show
of them,
how they get killed.
In the next time trailer for part 2, you just see one of them die.
It's just, literally, I'm like, no one, it's like, that's the thing. I love that. I literally was going to mention that. I was like, in the next time trailer, you just see them die. And it's like, oh, well, I guess that's that. No suspense there at all.
Nope.
God's sake. Man. Interesting. I love it when they kill off characters in next time trailers. It shows what great characters they are.
It does.
They don't even get names. It's so funny. They're just there. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. No, I agree. So fun. I've always really, really liked it. And look, I'm not saying this was done well, but I know back in the day it was a really cool thing they did. It's not aged perfectly, but I think back in the day it was really cool where they did the... when they show the scenes in space with like the bodies floating, they shot that in like a water, like a massive pool.
Yeah, I was just reading. That was on a sound stage, in an underwater stage at Pinewood Studios.
Yes, so, I remember watching The Confidential. I was like, that's pretty cool. It hasn't aged well, but that's okay. Like, I understand why it wouldn't.
I was just surprised that they did it at Pinewood Studios, because that's like big boy studios in London, you know?
Well, I do think a lot of... you can tell like episodes from like last week didn't get much of a budget, so they could do episodes like this, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure though the Ood were made on a bit of a budget. Hold on, let's read this here. Executive producer and chief writer Russell T Davies said that an early draft of the script called for the role of the Ood to be filled by Raxacorico Fallopatorians, the same species as the Sardine. Their race would have been enslaved, and they wished to awaken the beast, whom they believed to be a god that could free them. Davies chose to name the Ood rather than Jones, who intended it to be a play on the word odd. In the accompanying Doctor Who Confidential episode, Davies said that he likes to think that the Ood come from a planet near the Sensorites from the first Doctor serial, the Sensorites, as he suggests that the races are similar in some respects. In Planet of the Ood, this is confirmed. During an interview with the production crew, it was noted that the Sanctuary base was based on a spaceship, Nostromo, from the movie Alien. I think I read somewhere that they had to make the Ood only the heads because of the budget. That they were running out of budget, so they only could make the heads for the Oods.
Well, there is quite a lot of them.
Yeah.
To be fair, I like that. I like how they didn't... Again, I think a lot of the budget did go on it because, like, it has to rely on CGI a lot, just for the base and all like the outside planet and the devil at the end.
Yeah. Sure.
Which I think for its time was good.
Yeah.
It sent me as a kid. I gotta ask you again. It's one of my favorite scenes in Doctor Who. Did you like the ventilation scene?
Yes, I literally was watching this and being like, "Fuck, this is good." Yeah. Like it is one of the, it is. That episode, man, part 2 is one of the best episodes of the revival so far, like in season 1 to 2.
I agree. I totally agree.
It is so tense. Love that scene. It's so well shot. When we were coming up to the scene, I was like, oh, I remember this being good as a kid, but I cannot imagine the Ood going through the ventilation shaft without it looking gimmicky. But then I was watching it and I was like, fuck, this is tense. Like, this is actually like,
Yeah,
it's scary.
It was.
The way they're just
who? Yeah, dude. On the.
Honestly.
Who directed the episode?
This is by a director, James Strong, who has done a few now, I think.
Right.
Don't quite
really
remember.
liked
I feel like we go through this every time.
Yeah, that does sound like us.
No, he's not done a few yet, but he will do Daleks in Manhattan and Evolution of the Daleks, Voyage of the Damned, Partners in Crime, and Planet of the Dead. So, to be honest, other than Partners in Crime and Voyage of the Damned, actually, just in general, it's a pretty mixed bag, you know? Daleks in Manhattan, Evolution of the Daleks, and Planet of the Dead aren't that great.
I like them.
Really? Even Planet of the Dead?
Yeah. It's
Wow.
not great, but I always liked it a lot.
I never liked it as a kid. I always thought it was boring. And then he also did for
interesting.
Torchwood, Cyberwoman, and they keep
Hey.
killing Susie. Oh, and he also did 5 episodes
That's
of
a great
Broadchurch.
episode. Oh, sick.
And 4 episodes of Grace Point, the amazing...
Hey.
Oh, you liked that show
Shit.
11/22/63, didn't you?
Yeah, with Franco.
Yeah, he did episode 3 and episode 4 of that.
That's sick.
So he's done-
That's crazy. You remember I watched that?
Yeah, I just remember it, yeah. Whenever I see it, I'm like, I remember him saying he liked that.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and this one was written by Matt Jones. Woo!
Yeah, I don't recognize this writer.
Yeah,
I feel like I should have followed his work in Doctor Who more,
he's-
considering how much I liked it, but I don't recall him doing any more.
he's only done those 2, but then he also wrote the Torchwood episode Dead Man Walking, which is a really good episode.
Shit, so that's the last Doctor Who episode he did?
Yeah, just did those two episodes.
Shit. Damn. Considering how well received it was, like, this was like a fan favorite back in the day.
Well, the Ood became such a hit.
I would go to school and... Yeah, I was like, at school, this was the one that everyone spoke about. Everyone had, like, the Ood figures and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you like it's obviously explored a lot more in Planet of the Ood, but did you like the brief mentioning of the whole slave race type thing?
Yeah.
And we later find out that the Ood aren't obviously wanting to be slaves their whole life. They're pretty much just born that way. But obviously we don't know that now. Did you like the small reference to that?
I thought that was cool. I'd be keen to see what I think of Planet of the Ood when I see it, because I never really liked it as a kid, but I know some people did quite like it. So, yeah. Cool.
I feel like
let's
if this
go through
was this connection's bad. I feel like if this was an episode in series 11 or 12, it would have just been like, if the Ood hadn't been introduced yet, this wouldn't have happened. It would have just have been an episode like Planet of the Ood, and they would have just gone, oh, we've got to talk about slavery and stuff. So, like, it's interesting how it's briefly mentioned here, and then later on when they're like established villains or established species, they explore that, which I think is a lot better because it gives it more weight and stuff. But you do feel really sorry for them because they're just being taken over as a vessel. They're not trying to be evil, and it's that you get that really sad shot at the end when the planet's coming down and they're all like crouched down, and the Doctor even says, "I couldn't save the Ood." It's really sad.
Yeah, it was. I felt for it. Let's have a brief look at the supporting cast here, because they were good and I think really worth sort of having a deep look into. So we had Danny Webb
one of my
playing,
favorites, Porncast.
Danny Webb playing Mr. Jefferson, who I thought was great and one of the highlights.
Yeah.
And his death
definitely.
is so good.
Yeah, very emotional.
Sean Parks plays Zachary.
It's a great conclusion.
Yeah, it was. Zachary Crossflame, is he the see the guy with the long hair? No, he's the captain. He's the captain.
The captain, yeah.
Yeah, he's very good as well. He's kind of kept on his own for a lot of it, but I think that was really good to test his character. Someone who'd just been thrown into the role of a captain.
Yeah.
Claire
I like how
Risbrook
that
as Ida
happens,
Scott.
like, he's just thrown into it.
Really good. Will Thorpe as Toady Zed does really well as the villain, but I think he comes off as a bit of a little bitch when he's playing Toby.
I think that's the point.
Yeah. Ronnie Duty plays Danny
These are the words of
Bartok.
the beast.
And he, I think, was so much fun. I always loved him as a kid.
Danny. Yeah, I agree.
And then we have
Does it have the
Maya Anna Buring, who played Scooty Minister, who
Scooty
is in it for a short period
Who
of time,
dies.
but quite good.
Yep. Dies early on. Yeah. I do have one goof for the week, Hayden.
I don't, but let's
Just
go
one.
into it.
It's very brief and not really noticeable.
Let's do it, everybody.
but
It's time
the
for Goof of the Week, your favourite segment.
It's really nothing. It's like there's a shot where Toby stands up and he looks at his hands. He looks at his palms and they have all the writing on it. But there's like a shot that's kind of wide, and it goes from a shot of his hands and it's got writing on it, and it goes to a wide, and like his hands you can't really see them, but they haven't got any writing on it. That's it.
Rip. Oh,
That's
that's
it.
a goof.
That's it.
It was
It's just
too
a
good.
continuity error. That's it. I know it happens all the time, and mistakes happen on TV. There's a brief scene with, actually, there's two that highly hint towards the Doctor and Rose being in love, Aiden, which is quite a controversial thing about their characters, because some people really liked it and some people didn't. The idea that Rose and Ten love each other. There's a scene where they discuss getting a house, and then Rose says we can get one together, and they both go, all been there.
Yeah.
A scene like that. And the second one is when he's about to fall into the pit, which is a scene I really love. It looks beautiful, where it's just the darkness and the Doctor going down like he's like a fish on a hook.
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
sick. But he says, if you see Rose, tell her. And he's like, she knows.
I
And
never,
he falls.
as a kid, I was like, what the fuck is that about?
Yep, same.
And
Exact same.
This is the first time I've been like, this is him trying to say I love you, which he obviously never gets
Yep.
to say in the finale as well. So that's
Yep.
awesome. Because as
Yep.
a kid as well, I thought when he's like, I suppose it's my last chance to say it, Rose Tyler. I thought he was just saying her name for the last time. And then
And then he goes,
in series 4, when he's like, what was I going to say before I was cut off on the beach? I was like, wait, he was going to say, Rose Tyler, I love you. But yeah, that little thing there, that was brilliant little bit of development for them. And I appreciated that
I agree.
a lot.
I do love that little scene where it's just, again, in like a very action-packed episode, and it like doesn't slow down the pacing at all. There is that really nice scene for like a couple of minutes of like just Ida and the Doctor, and they're just chatting on the comms, and the Doctor's going down on the line, and it looks great. It's shot so well.
Really good dialogue. Really
and they're
good,
talking about
well-written.
faith. Yeah, the dialogue's brilliant. They're just talking about faith. I do as well. I love how like they just accept the fact that at the top they can't grab Ida or the Doctor, and Rose like tries to fight, and they have to like knock her out, and it's just stuff like that. It's very emotional. It's like you have to leave your own team behind.
Yeah. What did you think of the
Yeah.
the climax and the resolution, all the stuff on the spaceship and the Doctor smashing the trophies? Because I have some strong thoughts.
Yeah, I like it. I think, you know, the idea that you never really find out what the beast is, it's kind of just there, and it is what it is, and like you shouldn't really question it much. But you know, even at the end, it's like Rose is like, "So what do you think it was, though?" And he's like, "I just think we beat it." And it's like, okay, I guess we're never really gonna find out, which is fine because some things are okay to be open-ended. I think the scene was a bit just info overload, because like obviously the devil couldn't reply, so I think there's a lot of times in the script where the Doctor was just like, oh, you mean this, wait, it means that, oh, it means that, oh, I guess it means this, but you did this and they did that, and it's like, you know,
Yeah, it was like that when he was talking to the beast, but I did like how they disguised his talking to himself and giving exposition as, I hope you're listening to this, Ida. I thought that was really cool. So that way You know how he's reading all like the what are they called? Hieroglyphics? Something like that. Like the writings on the walls and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like reading them all out loud. And normally you'd be like, why is he reading them out loud? You wouldn't do that in real life. But then at the end of like a big spiel, it's like, I hope you're still listening to this, Ida.
Right. Yeah, so it's kind of like covers it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think it was. I do like it. I think it's good. It's not my favorite ending to story, but I think it was emotional. The scene on the rocket where it's pretty funny. It makes me laugh. Rose didn't know at all that there'd be a second shield that can come down to like stop all the fucking air coming in. That did make me laugh. And it does look a bit goofy when Toby gets flown out of the fucking
that actually looked
rocket.
alright.
But I do think it's emotional. It's alright. It's a bit goofy, but I think it's really cool, and I do think it's sick how the TARDIS grabs the ship and they give Ida back, and the Doctor takes Rose, and it was really cool. And they're like, even who are you guys? And they're like, oh, the stuff of legend. And I think it was really nice. And then the end of the episode, like the last line, is when I think it's really sweet that they give the report that Toby's dead, and they also give the report to like every Ood.
Yeah, and it's kind of
Like,
funny as
Ood
well.
number 1. Aiden,
Didn't you?
these are helpless Ood who died.
I thought it was played off as a joke. Like,
No.
I thought it was funny. I'd be curious what other people think, because I thought that was funny.
Nah, they're giving the report of the poor helpless Ood that were literally just brainwashed to kill people.
Yeah,
and they
like-
died.
Not that they died is funny, but like, just the fact that he now has to go like Ood 1, deceased, Ood 2,
Yeah, but
deceased.
I think that they said they only had. I think they said they only have like 50. I think they said all 50 units in like Poland. Like all 50 units are playing up, so yeah, has to go through 50. They got a long ride home. Okay, they can do it. They can.
So this
Just
was
cut
like
it
the
off.
most into a story I think I've been in this whole rewatch show. Like, I was fucking invested. Like I said, enjoyed it all. But when we got to the climax, it was like a thing of like, I have this weird thing where when moments work really well, and when like, for example, something that maybe you could relate to is like when you saw all the portals open in Avengers Endgame and all the characters come out and stuff. There's like an overwhelming like excitement to the point where like a lot of people would like break down. I didn't get that for Endgame because Marvel movies I enjoy, but they don't mean a lot to me. But like things like all the TARDIS coming in the 50th was like an overwhelming thing to me, where I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And for me, I literally like when so the Doctor falls back and he hits his TARDIS and it's so exciting, and it was like a thing where I physically was like, yes, and then fucking everyone's sad and they're falling into the black hole, and I was like, fuck, man, fuck. And then when I heard like the Doctor's voice and everyone like cheering and the performance is so good, it was like I got fucking overwhelmed, and I was like, oh my god,
right.
it's so good. And I didn't cry, but I felt like my eyes well with just like excitement for these characters.
Yeah,
For
perfect.
episode that I've watched hundreds of times as a kid, to still have that, you know, something must be working right in this episode, right? And I think it's down to excellent writing, excellent direction, excellent music, and excellent performances from the cast.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like what I said made it sound like I didn't like it. That was just a few things, like the dialogue with the Doctor, obviously having no one to bounce off of. Like, there was a small thing. Apart from that, I really loved it. Mario's score, the one that goes da 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 da. Oh my god, it's so good. Like I honestly really fuck with it. Also, one more thing, that portal scene in Endgame, I liked it. I didn't love it. I thought it was okay. But I get what you're trying to go with. I think I agree what you said about the whole TARDIS is showing up. That's my scene, I think. That sent me. But yeah, I agree. I thought it was for me, it was a pretty much perfect ending. Apart from a few little things here and there. The I believe in her scene.
That's what I was about to say. So good.
Brilliant.
I believe in her. So good.
I believe in her. Fucking
Bum,
chucks this
bum,
massive ass
bum,
rock.
bum, 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 bum,
Oh god.
bum, bum,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
bum,
One other thing that
bum,
annoyed me was
bum,
that
bum,
the
bum, 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 bum. We're going into the black hole. Ah! That's accurate reenactment for you.
Murray, is that you?
That is me.
Yeah. The only two things I didn't like from a very perfect ending was the dialogue a few times, and the second thing was that the TARDIS just happened to land right where the Doctor needed it. But I can let that shit go. Honestly, I can. I can let that slide. It really didn't. It really
was
did not
just
bother
so
me much
exciting.
at all. Yeah, when he falls back and he's like, ah ha ha ha. I'm like, that's right. That's sick.
Yeah, his performance
sick.
though saves it, I think. I did
Oh
notice
god, yeah.
there was a line that I could tell was kind of thrown in there to be like to explain a really obvious thing of like how the fuck did the TARDIS how did they exchange Ida and Rose in the cockpit?
Oh yeah, it just arrived. Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
Yeah, because there's like, the TARDIS, it looks so cool in the hull, which was obviously a different part of the room, which we cannot show. So we're going to have this conversation
that.
from the TARDIS to the cockpit, which I think worked really well.
What do you mean it just appeared? What do you mean? It just appeared. I was like, that's pretty funny. Yeah, true. But yeah, that's little stuff that I'm like, is what it is.
We are very excited about this episode.
It's interesting.
But I do think the second part is so good, we're kind of overlooking that the first part is just a little bit flat. But still really good, but just a little bit flat.
Again, it's like it's just a pace. It takes its time. I far from hate it, but again, I think this is one of those. You gotta just acknowledge that we always say on this show, like the second part always is never as good as the first one, and I think this second part just completely knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, for sure. And I did
which is very rare. I don't know if I can name one.
I did appreciate that in the first part. To try and keep things lively, direction-wise, they did like a lot of fun things. Like when the first earthquake comes in, that's like a real big moment, and that's really exciting and gives you some fun there. And then there's like 5 minutes of talking, and then they're like, they've just got to go and see the TARDIS and see it's fallen. But then they make that into a really exciting scene. Connor has another nosebleed by the looks of it.
I'm good.
You're good? All right. But they make these like little scenes that could easily just be not that exciting into really exciting, like Murray Gold. Dun, 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 dun. So good. So good. I thought CGI was pretty good this week as well. I know you mentioned that, but like... Yeah.
Again, I think the budget went more onto an episode that I think they could... which would be a bit of a banger and knocking out the park, and one that actually had to rely on the CG a lot.
Yeah.
When I say a lot, I don't mean that in a bad way. It just needed to be done. I think this is one of those rare episodes where I'm like, you must have this with Doctor Who. I'm like, it's like I wish I could show people who aren't huge fans of Doctor Who episodes like this, and it's some episodes like Heaven Sent and Wars of Mars and Blink and episodes like this. And I'm like, I wish I could just show people stuff like this and be like, if you think it's not great, because I know a lot of people in my life who just say Doctor Who's shit, it sucks, it's a children's show, and I'm like, I beg to differ. There are some episodes like this that are actually quite dark and complex and
absolute bangers.
Require you to pay attention. Yeah, they require you to pay attention as well. It's not just you don't sit there on your phone going, oh, this end. Like, I think it really benefited from the two parts. I think the writing direction, the cast is it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite crews. Like one of the favorite side characters that I've seen in Doctor Who. There's this minisode. You might be able to watch it. Well, technically I can because I've got the Blu-ray. But I always watch mine on a streaming service called Stan here in in Australia. Sorry. But there's this. Do you get the minisodes on the Blu-ray?
You do, but not the webisodes. So for season 2, they did these webisodes.
Oh, the webisodes.
Small things that were before the episode. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a webisode of this episode which I found on YouTube once when I was a kid, and haven't been able to find since. And I think this might be a massive dream I had, so this might not be true, but I think it's true. You get to see the original captain sat
That's cool.
at the control desk, and then you see the devil come up on the screen, and then he dies.
Interesting.
Pretty cool. I think that's how it goes, but I might be tripping.
TARDIS
it's the
is what
original,
they
because
call
they say the original captain. They say he dies. That's why Zach's in charge.
That's fun.
But
hold on. Oh god, I'm watching
considering
something
getting
really
the
loud right now.
Really, I can't hear anything. Oh, it's for your headphones. Right.
37, Jan 5.
Fly into a black
Oh, these are
is it?
so cheaply
Power source
made.
keeps that planet hanging in there.
Are you watching the episode?
Bring it back, Captain Walker. You'd be the man who
I don't
Oh
think you
my
can hear me,
god,
folks.
this is so cheap. This
You
is
can't
so
hear me,
cheap.
folks. The thing is too loud.
effects of the Geddes expedition.
Interesting.
The other side of the galaxy.
All we have
What are
is
you
the
watching?
map and
Do you hear me?
local myths.
Yeah, I can just hear you in the background of it.
Superstition.
Okay, you can't hear me,
I
folks.
can't hear you,
Bloke flying a tall
but
ship.
it's
with a top
a lady talking to the captain,
Good luck, Captain
the new
Walker.
captain, about putting together a
How
crew
did you
for
find
it.
this? I wasn't able to find it. Where are you watching it?
It's so cheap, but the guy's not dying.
Okay.
Oh,
What's happening?
all right. I'm gonna send that to you. Don't watch it now because we already sat through.
Where
me
did you
watching
find it? I couldn't find it.
it. It was just I just typed up Doctor Who webisode The Impossible Planet, and it's called a TARDIS.
And it's on, like-
actually. But I'll send it to
And
you and
it's
you
on,
watch
like,
it later on and
Dailymotion
let me
or
know what you
something.
think next week because it's so cheap. It's so
Is it on
ridiculous.
YouTube? Is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! How did I literally looked up yesterday I put Minnesota. I think fucking YouTube knew what I was talking about. Thank you, Aiden.
So cheap.
Yeah, but we've got. It kind of made me think. I do like the final a lot, but I've seen it so much. So this is, I think, the final episode of series 2. I was really looking forward to.
Yeah.
Because we've got Love the Monsters and then Fear Her, which I still like Love the Monsters. I stand by that, but I think this was the last episode I'm actually excited to rewatch because I've rewatched Army of Ghosts and Doomsday like so much.
Yeah.
I think I've rewatched this season a lot, and that's why I haven't really been enjoying season 2 as much because it's like my most watched season. I'm very excited to watch from like series 3 onwards.
Very keen.
Their season I haven't really watched much, especially series 4. I think I say this every week, but yeah.
Yeah, we do. I have one more note on the episode. Is that this is the first time in this like $370 box set that I bought of 1 to 7 on Blu-ray. The first time where I've been like, wow, this actually looks HD. Not in all the shots, but in some shots they've remastered it really well, and it looks like some shots actually look like a good 1080. Yeah.
I love that the first time.
Yeah.
You're like nearly at the end of the second season.
Well, you can always tell they're like slightly remastered, but like this is sort of the first episode where there was shots that you could pass being like this was maybe shot in HD, you know?
Well, I don't know if you know this, but on Stan they're just SD. They don't even put the HD remaster on there, classic, which is really annoying. But because whenever I watch it and I'm watching it on the 4K upstairs, it does normally look pretty pants. But again, was filmed a long time ago, so is what it is.
Connor, I have one other topic of conversation before we go on to giving our
Okay.
scores. This we're diving into the 50% aspect of the show here. This afternoon, I finally, after weeks of wanting to see it, got to the flicks and saw Tenet.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm in this mode where I'm like, what was the point? What happened in it?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
But I was also so incredibly tired, and everyone I was with, it was people from uni, so like we've all come off of like 3 weeks of filming almost every day, and we literally wrapped like one of our films this morning. So we went from that, had some drinks, and then went to the film. So all of us were like, we were not in the right fucking headspace to be watching Tenet right now.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I was
thoughts.
exact same, yeah. Well, I was like horrendously hungover, if I remember correctly. And it was like a late showing. It was like 8:30. We went at the advanced screening. And I went with Dan, and I was just tired. I was like, I can't be dealing with this. And it began, and I was confused, and it ended, and I was confused. I really didn't like it much. I didn't connect to it like I have with previous Nolan movies. I think he's much better when he has like a script that someone else has written. I don't know why he can't just adapt his script and just direct it.
Well, he usually co-writes with his brother.
Yeah,
but
so I was like, I didn't think that helped.
Yeah, this is the first time in a while that he's written by himself, I think.
Yeah,
no,
I don't think it helped. I think it was just confusing to be confusing.
You're totally right. Like, I think what caught me off was like they put concept over character.
Yes, I totally agree.
They spent like the first half hour trying to explain this thing that maybe makes sense, but is so convoluted that it's really hard to make it make sense. And so when you're sat there like trying to connect with this character, there's no reason to. And I just found myself zoning out. Literally in the dialogue scenes, I would just jargon and I just couldn't focus on what they were saying. And the action scenes I just thought were like not poorly shot, but they were just kind of like subpar. There was nothing like, there was never a moment where I was like, oh fuck, it's all happening.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I just, the final act was happening and I was like, I couldn't tell you what is happening.
No.
I'm so confused. And I'd like to say that I've watched hundreds of films, hundreds of TV shows. I'd like to say I can follow a narrative.
Yeah.
But for the life of me, I was like, am I stupid?
All I remember in the final act, and I watched it about 3 hours ago, was a building being blown up and then being rebuilt and then re-blown up in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, that. Look, I think it was like I think it was like really cool how it was shot with like soldiers running backwards and someone running forwards, and they actually did that. They actually ran backwards in real life, and that was cool. Some cool stuff to look at, but I was like, what in God's name is happening? It generally,
I agree.
It didn't grab me. It was so convoluted. It was just confusing to be confusing. And I think the thing that upset me the most is like what you said. It was like the idea of just not being able to connect to any of the characters was just bizarre to me.
I
did not connect with them.
Character driven. Whenever I write,
I know.
I start from character and then build the story based on what situation would make this character that would put this character in the most conflict. And this character, who doesn't even have a name, is just called the protagonist, which is so what's the word I'm looking for? Pretentious.
It doesn't need a name. The characters are the audience already getting. I love it. Yeah. It's it was definitely a letdown for me, and it was the first time I'd been back at the cinema. Nah, it was like I think it was the second time I've been back at the cinema, but yeah, still it was the first time back at our like local one, and my first time back at like the Gold Lounge, which is like a place I always go to and I really love.
I've not even been back to our local since.
Like, I saw that, and then I saw sorry, the connection's so bad.
Yeah, it's alright.
I love that. Sorry, one more thing. Sorry, for like the unknown person who doesn't know, we shoot this through video call because it sounds like we're constantly trying to talk over each other. It's not like that. Sometimes there's a bit of a lag.
Yeah.
Me and Aiden let each other talk, I promise. Now, one more thing I'll say. It's just weird how I went to go see Tenet, which is a Nolan movie, and then I went to go see King of Staten Island, which is a fucking Judd Apatow movie, who's like a pretty standard director, and I liked King of Staten Island more than a Nolan movie, which if you would have told me last year I would have liked a Judd Apatow movie more than a Nolan movie, I would have laughed you out of town.
Yeah.
But the King of Staten Island was so personal and relatable to me that I liked it so much more than a Nolan movie. I hate to say it, but that's true.
Yeah, there was no relatability to the film.
I don't hate to say it. You get what I mean.
I will revisit it. And I think I'll like it better. My favorite time to watch to watch movies is at like 8:30 in the morning with a coffee. Because you can get just so invested in character and dialogue and things there. And I just bought this box set because I was the only Nolan film I haven't seen is Memento. So I was like trying to find a place to watch it. And then I found it. I could buy the Blu-ray online for like $25 or something, or I could buy a box set that was the first 6 Nolan films for like $55 on Blu-ray. So I got that. So that's like a really cool box set that I've got coming in the post. And I think I'm going to watch Nolan from start all the way up to Tenet and just rebuy Well, not rebuy, but buy all the ones
it needs a rewatch.
I don't have. And yeah, go on with a fresh mind. I wouldn't see myself ever loving it just because it's so apparently not character driven. Yeah. Anyways, that's our
I
Tenet.
think my parents were planning on seeing it again, and I was going to go with them, but they never went. So I was like, I don't see myself going again to see it unless it's on like. I'll probably watch it again if it's on like a Netflix or something, but I don't see myself going out of my way to like buy it.
We had a group of us just like sit down and try and dissect the film afterwards, and all we could get was just us being like, "What the fuck was going on the whole time?" Like,
Yeah,
we were.
I know. Literally, everyone I've spoken to says that.
Honestly, yeah. Oh well, Connor, shall we dive into our ratings?
It's a shame.
That was our cute Tenet
Sure.
segue. I don't think we did any spoilers or anything. Not that if there was spoilers, you could understand them because nothing makes sense in the film. So I think we're okay. Connor, what
That's
is
true.
your
How can you
rating
spoil it?
for The Impossible Planet and The Satan Pit?
I thought about this, and I think maybe we're gonna have the same score this week. I'd be very surprised if we don't, but I'm gonna give it because I think it definitely deserves it, despite part one being a tiny bit slow. But it didn't bother me at all because I like dialogue driven stuff. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Okay, that's
Out of
big.
10.
I'm going to give it a
Yep.
cracking 8.5 because I think it
Damn
was...
it!
I think it was really good. I just think because the first part was a little slow, wasn't quite up into the 9 territory. You got to save the 9s, you know? But 8.5 is still an incredible score because I was so invested in that second part of the story.
Well, I was really low last week, and I think it deserved a higher score this week because I think I really enjoyed it. So I think I gave it a 6 last week, or a 5. No, I gave it a 5. So
5.5 you got
was
last
like-
week for Idiot's Lantern.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I think I really enjoyed it. I was struggling to find stuff I didn't like about it. So yeah, I stand by it. 9.
Yeah, I'm interested
yeah.
to see what my... you know how we average off our scores at the end of each season to see what our series
That's right.
Series score is. I'm interested to see what mine's going to be when I add these all together because it's such a range. Like I go 6.5, 6, 7.5, 8, 9, 6.5, 7, 8.5. Like, and they're surprisingly higher than I thought considering I'm looking back on the episodes and they're okay, but I'm not enjoying them as much as Series 1, except the last episode.
How many episodes of 50% are in this season of the show? Is there 10 or 11?
11, but the Christmas special is listed as Season 2, Episode 0.
Okay. All right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I was wondering that the other day. Okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
I think that's it for the week, Connor.
Yeah, unless you have anything else to bring up. I don't think there's any Doctor Who news.
I don't think so.
No, don't think so. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking the other day quickly. I was thinking, we got to get at least a trailer soon for the special coming out soon.
Evolution. Yeah, maybe soon, yeah.
Maybe it's a bit too early to do any marketing,
Probably in October. I could see the end of October, maybe last week of October.
yeah, maybe like early November. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it should be coming out. They'll probably put it out on the 1st of next year.
Yeah.
Because that's a dumb thing they do.
Although they do pretty pants marketing these days, and they tend to leave it like right until like 2 weeks before,
They do, yeah.
or like a month. Maybe we'll get it on like the
Yeah, it's like
the
Netflix. They always do
anniversary.
that. They always do like a couple of weeks before.
Yeah.
Sorry, you totally broke up there. I don't know what you said, but I'm sure it was good.
I said maybe they'll leave it for like the November 23rd.
Ah, interesting. Maybe. Doctor Who Day.
Big date.
I see.
I think that's
yeah.
that's 57
What,
years, I think.
I was going to say, what anniversary is it? 57. Shit. I always think back about that day. That was such a big day for us. All those
Huge,
years ago.
huge one.
Look at us now.
All
Yeah.
grown up and making our
Alright.
incredible podcast.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Oh, by the way, Aiden, I've got a big surprise coming. Well, it's not that big. It's big. It's cool. It's more sentimental, I think. I've got a surprise coming. I might wait till your birthday
Okay.
to give it to you, but I've got something really cool planned that I'm going to get for me and you. And I got one I want to give Dan as well and myself. So that's all I'll say. I'm very excited.
Some kind of special custom podcast thing, I'm guessing.
Maybe.
That's cool.
You have to wait.
I'm keen.
I mean, you have to wait a while because yours is December.
Yeah.
But I've had this idea for a while, and I wanna do it. So I'm gonna try and get it done. I think I'm gonna have to get in contact with an old friend to get it done. So that's all I'll say for now.
What? I'm so curious.
It won't affect this show in any way. So I don't even know why I'm telling you on the show. But I know. Well, I got to give you some teasers, Aiden. Come on.
You have. Is it podcast? Is it related to the podcast?
I ain't saying nothing. I'm Johnny Tightlips right now.
Fucking hell, Johnny. All right, Connor.
I might have to like not show you for a while because I want to get something. I want to get the exact same thing for myself, and it'll be pretty hard for you not to see it. So I'm gonna have to probably hide it from you at some point. Okay. But that's all I'll say. Yeah. Thank you, Aiden.
What a
Just
tease.
giving you blue balls. What can I say?
What a tease. Yeah,
yep, that's me.
I'm blue balled right now. Connor, listeners, thank you very much for joining us on this episode. I know we started off a little bit rough with Connor fucking up the question thing like usual, but...
I'll get fucked, Aiden.
What a segment. But I feel like we picked things up after the theme song and we've had a cracking episode. So if you like and what you listen to, come back next week. We'll be here. We're here weekly. We've been weekly for 18 weeks now. Wowee.
That's insane.
That's
insane.
I'm chuffed. That's a big number.
Shit. Fuck. Yeah, it's crazy. We're doing really well. I'm really proud of us.
Yeah, we'll keep with it. And we're going places, baby. Season 2, I think, has been like an interesting one for us. I think it's just been like early on, I was so busy, I don't think I could give it my all. But I think the last couple of episodes, I think we're bringing back them energies, and we're fucking vibing hard. So hopefully we can go on through and make season 3 our best fucking season yet. But
oh yeah,
we've still got about a third of this season to go. 3 more episodes of our show over the next 3 weeks. So come on down, give a listen to Love and Monsters next week, and maybe we'll try and get a guest on board for that one. Maybe bring back Dan.
Yeah, I think Dan's on for that one.
Yeah,
we'll have to discuss filming times because he's a bit all over the shop.
Yeah, right.
But we'll sort that out behind the scenes. But be sure to give the episode 5 stars on, otherwise Aiden will get pushed in front of a car.
Yeah, or I'll throw myself in front of a car. Or I'll get thrown.
True, it's one
and
of
then
those.
Stumble away, and Connor will then push me into the car.
That's right. And that will all happen if you don't give the podcast 5 stars.
It will.
If you want to see
not
Aiden next
blackmail,
week.
it's just facts.
No, you don't want just me on here talking about Doctor Who.
You probably just replace me.
Make sure you do it, otherwise Aiden won't be here next week.
Connor,
all right.
lead us out in song for this week, buddy. Oh,
all right.
Sorry, that was...
Got my ruler.
That was like I was talking to my son.
All right, you ready?
Come on, buddy. Give us a song. Give us a tune.
And a 1, 2, 3.
It's Aiden's and Connor's podcast. They're doing Doctor Who reviews. Doing Doctor Who reviews.
Oh, yeah. Cut it, baby. Pew.